In just 6 minutes, Jasmine Crockett, a tenacious black attorney, sent shockwaves through the federal courtroom, exposing the true colors of a white judge, all under the watchful lenses of 3 live TV cameras. The burning question: how did she turn the trial into a living nightmare for the man seated in judgment? The federal courthouse in the Western District was thick with tension, as if the walls themselves braced for the storm. Jasmine, clad in a sharp charcoal suit, strode down the echoing hallway, her heels clicking against the cold granite. In her grip, a hefty stack of files boldly labeled State versus Lawson, Misappropriation of Public Funds. Pressure was no stranger to her, but today was different. Not because of the case's gravity, she'd faced armed criminals and corrupt cops before, but because of the name on the judge's bench, Howard Gates. As Jasmine pushed open the courtroom's heavy door, her first sight wasn't the jury or the restless crowd. It was Gates's icy, calculating stare. Slow, deliberate, like she was a bargain bin item he was sizing up. No nod, no greeting. Just a raised brow, a glance at his watch, and a look that screamed, "Why are you here? Do you even belong?" Her throat tightened, not from fear, but from the realization. This wasn't a courtroom. It was a fortress of power built long before she arrived. On the defendant's side, Charles Lawson, a wealthy real estate developer, whispered with his lawyer, fiddling with his luxury watch. They looked bored, like they had shown up for a bad play. Jasmine set her files down, catching sight of 3 reporters in the back row nodding at her. A camera adjusted its focus. The trial was public today, every move scrutinized. But what really unsettled her was the elderly woman in a worn coat, humiliated after being scolded for sitting in the wrong seat. The white man beside her? No correction, though he spilled into the aisle. A silent message. Know your place. The door slammed behind her, no turning back. Jasmine inhaled, squared her shoulders, and locked eyes with the figure in black robes. A man whose gaze dripped with bias. Anger smoldered beneath her calm, a fire under ash. Today's battle wasn't just about Lawson. It was about truth versus a system rotting from the top. The stenographer's keys clacked like a drum roll for the storm about to erupt. Every eye in the room weighed on Jasmine, not with curiosity, but cold anticipation. The defense attorney, polished like a cocktail party regular, exchanged a smirk with the judge. This wasn't a trial, it was a rigged play, and she hadn't been given the script. Gates tapped his file, savoring the moment, then sneered, "I hope Miss Crockett isn't here to turn this into a circus." No mention of the case. No respect for her role. Just a slap disguised as a sentence. The room froze. A muffled laugh trickled from the back, quiet enough to dodge reprimand, loud enough to sting. Jasmine didn't flinch, but inside, a blade twisted. This wasn't a judge. This was a man who'd already picked sides, the side of power, the side that laughed at justice. Another laugh, more stares. The clerk, the guards, all complicit. They wanted her to fail, to crumble for daring to step where she didn't belong. Her nails dug into her palms. She'd faced this before, fighting cops as a public defender, walking a razor's edge. But this was a system designed to break her. Gates's voice cut again. Tone down the theatrics. This isn't a stage for victim performances. A direct attack on her identity. The room stayed silent. No one defended her. Then Jasmine moved. She slid a document onto the projector, a contract showing Lawson's The Kicker. An approval form signed by one person, Howard Gates. The room gasped. Gates paled. "Invalid," he snapped. No explanation. Just raw power flexing. A spectator whispered, "He really signed it." Gates ignored them, dismissing the evidence like a typo. Jasmine revealed the original, stamped by Federal Archives. Gates's signature glared back. He looked away, muttering, "Forged. No proof. Just lies." The truth was there. The room knew it. But the system? It chose blindness. Then the recording. Gates's voice boomed. Make sure that girl never gets near the ledger. Silence. The judge's own words, ordering evidence buried. Gates spluttered. Illegal recording! Jasmine held up the warrant. Legally obtained. The facade cracked. Gates's power crumbled. The jury stirred. A woman clutched her purse. It's really him. Gates stood, slamming his gavel. Trial over. Jasmine didn't blink. Number, you don't get to end this. The doors burst open. Federal agents marched in. Howard Gates, you're under arrest. Handcuffs clicked. The judge was walked out, head bowed. Lawson sweated, tapping the table. Jasmine leaned in. Start talking, or you're next. He cracked. I need protection. 1 week later, Jasmine stood before Congress. We let silence become complicity, no more. In a Chicago apartment, a little girl watched, eyes wide. Mom, I want to be like her. Justice isn't a system, it's a fight.